Hello everyone and welcome back. We are going to be doing a candy corn beanie hat, and this is a very simple pattern. The brim consists of 40 rows of yellow that we fold it in half so it actually looks like 20. Then the main body of the beanie is 30 rows and the top of the beanie is 10 rows of white. So let's get started. Tie a slip knot by wrapping a strand of yarn around 2 fingers and then pulling a loop through, and place the knot on the first peg and cinch it tight. Wrap each peg counterclockwise as you work in a clockwise direction around the loom. After you finish the first row, push the yarn down the peg and make room for a second row. Wrap a second row and a third row just as you did the first. After wrapping 3 rows, we'll be ready to use the pick tool to remove the bottom loop of yarn off from each peg by pulling it up and over the top. After you've removed the bottom row of yarn, we're ready to wrap another third row of yarn onto each peg and pick just as before. Continue this until you have 40 rows of yellow, and we'll be ready for the next step. Now that you have 40 rows of yellow, we're ready to create the brim of the hat. Take the first row of yarn and loop it back onto the pegs all the way around the loom, just like this. Then we'll pick the bottom loop of yarn off of each peg and we'll have secured the brim to the hat. Now we're going to change colors of the beanie to orange. Cut the yarn and tie on the new color and begin wrapping and picking just as before until you've added 30 rows of orange yarn. Now that we've added the 30 rows of orange, we're now ready for the last color. Cut the orange yarn and tie on the new white yarn. And wrap and pick for just 10 rows and we'll be ready to finish the beanie. With the 10 rows added, cut the white yarn, leaving a length of about 18 inches or so. Thread the white yarn onto a yarn needle. The easiest way to do this is to fold a piece of paper over the yarn and feed the paper through the eye of the needle. Pick off the loops of yarn from each peg so that only one loop remains on each peg. Then thread the loops onto a yarn needle, working all the way around the loom. With the beanie off the loom, place the yarn and the needle on the inside of the hat to finish it off. First, cinch the yarn tight so that it pulls the top of the beanie hat together. Next, weave the yarn needle through some of the stitches and then tie it off. Cut the remaining strands and ta-da! You've now created your own candy corn beanie hat. Thank you for watching. We hope this was helpful. If it was, please click the like button on the page, and if you want more round loom videos and projects, click subscribe.